Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, April 26, 2017. It's 1:03 a.m. Birmingham. And topic is, wow, did Jesus prophesy of an alien invasion? Write that down. Did Jesus prophesy of an alien invasion? You can find that at Israeli News Live. Published date was April 20. 2017, part 1. There's a part coming behind it. This is a Jewish preacher. He is also a Christian. And he is telling us things that we need to look for as Christians. But he's also given the history behind these things. Who begat who brought who forward, and how did, when God says the giants were on the earth in those days of the flood and after. This guy did concede, and I really didn't believe it. Now keep in mind, there are no aliens from distant galaxies. They're just not. Everything is from here after they fell from heaven, and they fell on Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is the same place that Jesus taught, and that his heel would be bruised on the head of the serpent, right there on Mount Hermon. He was also crucified on Mount Hermon. The Ananites, the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, and the Hivite and Jebusite, all these guys, and the Amalekites, all these guys were the front end of the Nephilim DNA, the fallen watcher angels, the angels that fell. And they were the ones that, when the flood occurred, although everybody on earth died except the 8 aboard the ark, they took off. They lived apparently on surrounding planets, Mars, and the moon are 2 that we know of. And they have evidence. You have seen that, I'm sure. And like I said last night, I think, maybe it was the night before, that the women on earth, the daughters of men, didn't jump right into bed with these things. They denied them. It took them a little while to figure out, how can we do this? And then they changed themselves to look like their husbands. That is shape shifting. They went from looking like apparently reptilians, all different kinds, looking just exactly like the woman's husband. And so when they fled to other planets to let things cool off down here because God has destroyed everything, do you think that they could not come back down in the same manner that they did the first time? Well, they did. And one of the known is Jericho. And one lady in the whole city repented because she knew who she was living with. She knew they were not good people. But she also knew they were all giants, and also knew that they were ugly beings. She laid the red thread outside of her window so that when Jericho was destroyed, that red thread turned to white. And that's taking our blood and making us whiter than snow. They did the same for her. She's the only house that never fell in Jericho. When God sent Joshua, and I can't recall the other name. Guys, you should read my writing. You wouldn't. Anyway, to seek out, and it took them 10 days, no, it took them 30 days to seek out all those who were in the promised land to see how difficult it would be to go in and take it over. Naturally, they searched out multiple things: food supplies, the strongholds. How many were they? How big were they? Did they look like they were ready to battle, or did they look like they were relaxed? You know, all the things that a man would consider for a sneak attack or a war preparedness way, and they were not ready for war. So when they went back, the two men that Moses sent in there after 40 years in the wilderness, they came back and told him his tale, and they said they're giants. We're like grasshoppers to them. Well, God told Moses clearly, tell them they can defeat them. And they did. And first, to prove what they were growing, the size of the food, it took two men, and they took two sticks, and he laid one on each shoulder. So two guys walking with one thing of grapes that they cut down and laid it across his sticks. It's far too heavy for one man to carry. They brought those grapes into Moses, and he knew by what God had told him they were giants. Well, there was another discovery. The gentleman that did this blog that I'm teaching from or telling you about also taught that they ate gold way back. That's why there's so much in the Middle East. They ate gold. Everybody. They would shave it into flakes and sprinkle it on their food because gold would kill diseases in a person. Gold would also make any plant that was within a vein, like of limestone, then you have a gold vein running through it. Those plants grew to enormous sizes. And other gold they took and sprinkled it about the plants, and the plants grew 10 times its normal size. That was mentioned in the days pre-flood also, that the giant plants grew giant. So gold was used as a cure-all. It made them healthy. It kept them healthy. And even if they sprinkled gold on their clothing would not wear out. Guys, it's all there. What I just told you starting out. They also discovered that Mount Hermon was a portal, and it was where they were coming in and out of. And so back to the Canaanites, the parasites, they were Nephilim. The whole cities were Nephilim. So how did the fallen angels get back? Well, they just left. The 200 that initiated coming down and having sex with the daughters of men, those 200 are still in the pits of hell. They were put in immediate judgment. And the others that were not, they escaped. They got out to the stars, and they built places on the moon and Mars and other places that we probably don't know of. But when the tail of the dragon swipes the stars, a third of them will fall back to the ground. The angels, the ones who are giving the light for, well, it's as good as a GPS. You know, when they read the stars in the sky, it was better than a GPS. But they were put there by God. Well, they'll fall to the ground when they're swiped by the tail of the dragon, the red dragon, which is Satan, reptilian. And I'll end it here. But gold was not used always as decorative. They just had a lot of it. And they had it not to make golden statues and idols and things. They had it as a diet that kept them well, and to sprinkle on their plants so that the food would grow to enormous sizes. That was the real reason for the gold. And of course, gold is used by God. Ark of the Covenant, take a look at it. The menorahs, so many other things. And but we are winding down to a soft disclosure, and through the reptilians, the shapeshifters, is what we have already first noticed. But there are evil, scary, evil things out there that have been kind of created on assembly line for a long time. There's millions of them. These things are beginning to come to surface. People are beginning to see them. That is the soft disclosure. I'm not sure we'll be here to have to face them head on. I hope not. I hope to get out of Dodge. And but we are not appointed to wrath. God reassured us, you are not appointed to wrath. I will bring my church home before wrath will come upon them. Jody Wolf Expoz.